Hello everyone. Today I will share a 100 Java functions example, and I will explain each one and describing how it works. So let's get started. So we have here the example 1. So in this example, the function greet takes a name as a parameter and simply prints a greeting message. The keyword void means this function is dili siya return anything, so it just performs an action. In this case, printing text to the screen. So when we call greet Zenny and the other greet is Kent, so it will displace the two nga to ang input, which is Zenny and Kent. So the two greetings, one for each name, simple and clear. So the output will be hello Zenny and hello Kent. And then the second one is, in this example, is the function is takes a welcome message and take as a name, input, and returns a string that includes a welcome message. The keyword string instead of void means this function returns a value, especially a piece of text. So when we call welcome message Ella, the input is Ella, so the function sends back welcome Ella, which is then stored in the variable message and printed on the screen. So the output will be welcome Ella. So we have here the third example. We're using here logic, comparing three numbers to find the largest one. Yun sa pinakadako. So this time, we pass the value of 45, 78, and 12. So the function checks each number and find the largest, which is the 78. So it returns the value. So the result will be the largest number is 78. Kaya may pinakadako, may ipagita kung kinsay pinakadako. So here the next example. This function checks the number is positive, negative, or 0. So we use here simple if statements to compare the input number with 0. So the function's return is void happen. This is doesn't return any value. So it performs an action. So the output will be 10 is positive, negative 5 is negative, and the number is 0. So next, this is the percentage operator. Modulus gives the remainder when one is divided by another. So fn modulus, that's not a percentage, sorry, it's modulus, is modulus 2 is equal to 0. That means the number divides evenly by 2, so it's even. So otherwise it's odd. The output will be 7 is odd and 10 is even. So this is function square takes an integer n as input and return n times n, which is the square of that number. So the return keyword sends the result back to the main method. In main, we store the return value in the variable result and print it out. So the output will be square is equals to 16. So next here, the function returns the square of a number n times n. So the cube function then calls square and multiplies it by n, giving n times n is equals to n cube. So pagita na to ang pila ko multiply 3 sa 3 cube, which is 3 times 3 times 3 is equals to 27. So the output will be 20. So here next, the function split words take a sentence as input. So kani siya is kanang kuhaon niya ang iyang spaces, kanang splits the sentence into parts whenever it finds a space. So atong gi-input diha is Java is fun. So goes through each word kay ma-print siya wala na spacing, kundi nahagyapon ang words which is ang Java is fun, but dili na sila sumpay. So ang output ana is Java is fun without spacing. So here next, same na gihapon sila, but i-remove gihapon ng spaces pero nagkasikit na sila. So the method replace every space in the text with nothing. So the result will be no spaces at all. The main prints is still Java School but without spacing. I-remove naman yung space. So kani siya count words. Ato siyang i-count every words. So we have here Java is 5 to learn. So pila man ka words ang ana nga sentence. So we have 5 because Java is fun to learn. So we have 5 words. So the output will be 5. So we have here a method that takes two strings. So uses Java's built-in functions to check if text begins with prefix. So we call starts with JavaScript and Java. So duha ang string na ato ang gigamit. So it prints JavaScript starts with Java. So ang output ani is true because na may Java sa usa nga atong input which is ang JavaScript. Nga ato ang gi-declare is Java man. Yan naman ang word nga Java sa JavaScript. So true ang display. So this program defines a method called repeat that takes a string and a number. So this method kay ibalik-balik siya many times. In main method, we repeats hi nga word 3 times. So ang output will be hi. Katulo siya nga hi. Next, so this method kay takes an array of integers and uses a for each loop. So in this main method, we have here the 10, 20, 30, and 40. So it created and passed to print array. So the output will be kuan siya naka-arrange pagamay tungod ako. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So this is example defines a method called SumArray that takes an integer array, adds up all its elements using for each loop. So the result will be total in the main method and created an array. So we have here the 5, 10, and 15. So we calls na kung unsay 15. So the print result will be sum is equals to 30. So in this method is find max that loops through an integer array to find the largest value. So in the main, we input the number of 12, 8, 6, 10, and 3. So atong ipakita man is the largest. So the max is equals to 12. So this is find the minute. Yeah, mean is minute. So that loops through an integer array, find the smallest number. Ganina largest, karon sa smallest. So sa main method na today number which is 5, 9, 1, and 6. So pinagamay is 1. So the output will be the minute is equals to 1. So this next example, average that calculates the average of all numbers in array. So the number which is the 2, 4, 6, and 8, and the print's average is equals to 5.0. So this program defines a method reverse that prints elements of an array in reverse order using for loop. So kuan siya pabalik, like mag-start siya sa last to start. So ang output will be for 3, 2, 1. So next, this program defines a method contains that checks whether a given number exists in array. So in main, we checks the number 5. So it's in the method we have 1, 3, 5, and 7. So naman siya 5, so the output will be true. Kaya ang gipakita man is 5. Naman siya 5, so true. Next, this program defines count even. That counts how many numbers in array are even. So we have here 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8. And the number of even values. So the count will be 3. So next, the program defines a method count odd. That's pila ka buok, how many numbers sa array ang odd. So in the main method, natay number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the number of odd values will be 3. So the output will be odd values is equals to 3. So next, this program defines copy array that creates a new array. So with the same elements as the original, in the main it copies 1, 2, and 3. So the copied array is 1, 2, 3. Kikikopi naman siya. So next, the method get elements that returns the elements at the specific index in an array. So in main, we get the element at index 1 from. So we have here the 9, 8, and 7, and prints it. So the index will be number 8. So this program uses a while loop to print each element of an array. So we have here the number of 3, 6, and 9, one by one. So the output will be all elements of 3, 6, 9. So here, we define a method of multiple by 2. So doubles each element, and in main we have 1, 2, and 3. So gidouble siya. So ang print of 1, 2, 3 is ang 1 will be 2, and the 2 will be 4, and the 3 will be 6. It's because gidouble man. That's why ang output will be 2, 4, 6. So next, we have here reverse again that prints an elements reverse order. So in this method, we have here the 5, 10, and 15. So it reverse. So the output will be 15, 10, and 5. Okay, reverse na siya. So in this program is the pointer siya of a specific value. So we use this also on the array. So returns its index. So if the value isn't found, it returns -1. So in the main, we have, it looks for 12, then we have 4, 8, 12, and 16. So ang print will be 2. So here the program uses the array also. So we have here the method of 1, 2, 3 with bracket, and then it prints out which is the array elements in one line with bracket. So the output will be 1, 2, 3 with bracket. So next, this program called sum even that through the arrays check if each number is even using num modulus 2 is equals to 0. So and adds it to the total. So in the main, we pass the array which is the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the output will be the total of all even numbers. So the output will be even sum is equals to 12. We use also here a for loop that goes from 0 to air.length -1. So every index will print a message like index 0, 9 showing both the position and of value. So we created here an array which is the 9, 8, and 7, and calls it then to display the results. So the output will be index 0, 9, index 1 to 8, index 2, 7. So here we calculate the product of all numbers in an array. So nagtake siya og integer array and starts with product is equals to 1. So then using a for each loop, it multiplies the element with the current total. So after the loop moment, we return the final product. So we have the mean, which is the 2, 3, and 4. So the output will be product 24. So in this example, we're checking whether a number is even or not. So we define here a method is even that takes an integer and returns true if num modulus 2 is equals to 0. So meaning that the number divided evenly by 2 in the main we call is even 6 and prints the result. So the output will be true. So the check sign method takes an integer as input. So if the number is greater than 0, it prints positive. If it's less than 0, it prints negative. Otherwise, it prints 0. So in the main, we call check sign, which is the positive 5. Since positive 5 is less than 0, the output will be negative. So here we'll check if a number is prime. So we define this number as input. So first, if the number is less than or equal to 1, it's not prime, so we return false. So then we use a for loop starting from 2 up to number num2. If the number is divided by any, it's not prime, so we return false. If no divisors are found, we return 2. So in the main, we call prime of 7, and since 7 has no divisors other than 1, it prints true, so the output will be true. So next, we're writing a program to calculate a letter grade based on a student's score. So we define here called get grade that takes an integer score. So if the score is 90 or higher, it returns A. So if it's 80 or above, it returns B. If it's 70 or above, C. If it's 60 or above, D. Anything lower, return F. So in the main, we call 85, and the result will be grade B. So here we're converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. We define that takes a temperature in Celsius. So the formula we use is Fahrenheit is equals to Celsius times 9 is equal divided by 5 plus 32. So we call Celsius Fahrenheit 25 to convert the 25 Celsius. So the output will be 77.0. So this next example, we're printing the Fibonacci sequence. We start with two numbers, which is D0 and 1. Then in a loop, we calculate the next number by adding the previous two, which is that. So each time, we print the number and update A and B for the sunod na step. So we call 7 to print. The first 7 Fibonacci numbers will be 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So that's will be the output. So next here, we're calculating the simple interest using a method. So it takes the principal, rate, and time as input. So we use also the formula, which is the simple interest is equals to principal times rate times time divided by 100. So we call the simple interest which is the 1,005 into. So which means $1,000 at 5% for 2 years. So the output will be 100.0. So here next, we'll check if a number is even or odd using the ternary operator. So we return even if the number divided by 2 has no remainder. So otherwise, we return odd. So we call here the check even odd is 7 and prints the result. So the output will be odd. And so next, we'll reverse the string using a simple loop. So we look backward from the last character to the first, adding each character to a string reverse. So return the reverse string, which is the Java. So yes, the output will be Ava, because the reverse and onward, ibali. So next, we'll print each character of a string on a new line. So we take here use a for loop to go through each character using char art. So each character gets prints on its own line. So we call the Java, and then the output will be Java. But each chars na siya. Kay char means usa ra ka letter. That's why kilahian J, A, V, and A. So next example, we find the length of an array. So we define a method getLength that takes an array and asserts array that length, which is we gives the number of elements. So we created a method which is the 10, 20, 30. the length will be 3. So next, here we'll count how many uppercase letters are in a string. So we have here Hello Java. So pila ka words ang Hello Java, which is makakabok. So the output will be 2. So next here, we count how many lowercase letters are in a string. Letters sa datang ikaw, dili na words. So we have here we call hello. So pila ang words, pila ka letters sa hello? 4. So the output will be 4. So next, we count how many digits are inside the string. So we have here the A, 1, B, 2, C, and 3. So ato ang ipon is ang digits. So here they have 3 digits, which is the 1, 2, and 3. So they have 3 digits, so the output will be 3. So next, in this example, we're assigning a letter grade based on the student's marks. So we have here the if-else conditions. So 9th year above is A, 8th year above is B, 7th year above is C, 8th year above is D, and the rest is F. So in the main, we call find grade 85, so which prints the B. Output will be B. So next, in this Java example, we're figuring out the part of the day if based on the hour. So it takes an hour in 24-hour format. So if it's less than 12, it's morning. If it's less than 18, it's afternoon. Otherwise, it's evening. So we call 14, which prints afternoon. So here, next example, we'll check whether a character is a vowel. So the vowel looks for a character inside the string, which is the A, E, I, O, U, and the caps lock of A, E, I, O, U. So if the index isn't 1, it means the character is a vowel, so we return true. So next, in this example, we're finding the smallest of two numbers using a ternary operator. So in the method smallest, we compare A and B. So if a smaller, it returns A, otherwise it returns B. So we have here, we call 4 and 8. Since 4 is smaller, it prints 4. So the output will be 4. So next here, we'll find the sum of the first natural numbers using a math formula. So the formula was sum is equals to n times n plus 1 divided by 2. So this gives the total result using a loop. So we call 10, which calculates 1 plus 2 plus 10 is equals to 55. So the output will be 55. So here we're printing the multiplication table of a given number. So the method that takes a number n and runs a loop from 1 to 10. So inside the loop, it prints the number times to 1. So we call here the number of 5. So it shows the 5 times table, which is the 5 times 1 is equal to 5, 5 times 2 is equal to 10, etc. So the output will be multiplication table of 5. So next, so we're here counting how many digits are in a number. So we call the digits of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pila may ka number ang nasa, so it's a parenthesis, which is 5 kabuk. So the prints will be 5. Next, we're printing the first 10 multiples of a given numbers. So we uses this for loop difference for 1 to 10. So inside the loop, we multiply n times 1 and print each result in the same line. So we call 7. So it prints the first 10 multiplied to 7, which is the 7. 7 times 7 equals 14 times 14, then 21, 28, 36, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. So that's what we. So here we're displaying today's date using the local date class. So we print local date now, which is now current date. So the output will be today's date. So next here, we're making a first letter uppercase using the capitalized method. We convert it to the uppercase, and then the rest of the string using text substring 1. So we print capitalize the word Java So, the output will be Java for capitalized ang first letter. So next here, we summing all elements of an array using an arrays that stream. So we convert the array into a stream and calls sum to calculate the total. So in the main, we define here the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So print the sum will be 10. So the output will be 10. So next, here we're checking if an array contains a target value. So search loops through each element in the array. If an element equals to the target, so n is equals to target, it returns 2. So if dili siya match, it returns false. So we search here for 9 in an array. Yeah, we have here the methods of 3, 7, 9, 2. So the results will be true kay na may 9. So we have here the method of 4, 2, 7, 1. So since we're going to range it in order, so mag-start siya to smallest to bigger. So which is, ang output will be 1, 2, 4, 7. Okay, arrange man siya. So next here, we're counting how many words are in a sentence. So here we have a sentence of Java is fun to learn. So which is counts 5 words. So the output will be 5. So here we're counting all characters in a string, which is the hello word. So pila man ka character or the letter of hello word. So there have 11 characters. So the output will be 11. Next, we're reversing each word in a sentence. So we have here the sentence of Java is cool, and then the output will be Ava is look. Kaya gi-reverse mo siya. And then next, we're calculating the factorial of a number recursively. So in the method is if n is 0, so if checks if n is 0, so it returns 1. So otherwise, it multiplies n by the factorial of n is negative 1. So in the main, we call the 5. So which calculates the 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is equals to 120. So we have here, we're calculating the areas of a rectangle. So it takes length and width and multiplies them. So in the main, we call the 5 and 3, and the result will be 15 because 5 times 3 is equals to 15. So next here, we use this also the multiplication table, and we define 5 to print the 5 times table. So that's the output. So we have here, we're converting centimeters to meters and kilometers. So we take centimeters divided by 100 to get meters, and by 100,000 to get kilometers. So we print both values. So in the main, we call the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the meters will be 1, 2, 3.45, and the kilometers will be 0.12345. So next here, we're checking if a number is prime. So first, if n is less than or equal to 1, if so, it's not prime. So then we look from 2 to n. If n is divisible by any number in this range, so it's not prime. So otherwise, we return 2. So in the main, we test the number 13, which is prime. So the 13 is prime, true. That's the output. So next, we're calculating simple interest. So we use another formula, which is the interest is equals to principal times rate times time divided by 100. So in the main, we interest for 1,000 principal and 5% rate and 2 years. So the output will be simple interest is 100.0. So here, we're checking if a person is eligible to vote. So the checking age method checks if age is equals to 18. So if it's true, you are eligible to vote. So otherwise, it means you are not eligible to vote if dili pa ka above 18. So we call 16. So it prints the ineligible message will be you are not eligible to vote because you are under 18. So next, we're calculating the sum of the first and natural numbers. So we have here sum loops from 1 to n, adding number using total. So it returns the sum. So in main, we call sum 10, which calculates 1 plus 2 plus is equals 10 is equals to sum of the first 10 numbers equals to 55. So next here, we're calculating base exponent manually. So the method power starts with results is equals to 1. So then it replies result by base in a loop that runs the result. So in the main, we calculate the 5 exponent of 5. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is equals to 32. So here we're converting the Celsius to Fahrenheit. So the formula will be Fahrenheit is equals to C times 9 divided by 5 plus 32. So it performs the calculation. So we have here, we convert the 25 centimeter to Fahrenheit, so which is prints the 77.0. The 25 Celsius is equals to 77.0. So we have here, we're checking whether a number is positive, negative, or 0. So we use this if statements. So if none is greater than 0 is positive, if none is less than 2 negative, otherwise is 0. So in the main we test is negative 8, so it prints negative. So the output will be negative 8 is negative. So next we're finding the greatest of three numbers. So we compare A, B, and C. So if a greater than or equal to both, return A. If S L, B is greater than or equal to both, return B. So otherwise return C. So in the main we test D with 10, 25, and 18. So the greatest is 25. So the output will be greatest number is 25. So next we're calculating the areas of a circle. So we call here the area 5, which calculates 3.1416 times 5 times 5 is equals to 78.54. So the output will be area of circle is 78.54. So next here we're checking a character type. If it's a letter, it checks if it's a vowel, which is a I, E, I, O, U, and I, E, I, O, U caps lock or consonant. So else if it's digit, print digit. Otherwise it's a special character. So we test here eagle, small letter of eagle, which is the A, a vowel. So the output will be E is a vowel. So next here we're calculating the final price after a discount. So we're using the formula, which is the discount is equals to price times discount percent plus 100. So then subtract it from the original price. So we calculate 10% discount on 1000, which give 900. So the output will be, the price will be 900. So the output will be final price is 900. So next here we're calculating body mass index. So BMI. So we have the formula here, the BMI, which is the width divided by 2 height times height. So we calculate the BMI for 60 kilogram and 1.7 meter and print the result. The result will be the BMI is equals to 20.761 to 4567. So in this next example, we're reversing a number. So we have here reversing the number of 1, 2, 3, 4. So the output will be 4, 3, 2, 1. The reverse mo siya. Ang full output is reverse of 1, 2, 3, 4 is equals to 4, 3, 2, 1. So next here, we're checking if a number is perfect. So a perfect number equals to sum of its proper divisor. Include na siya itself. So from 1 to num1, sums the divisors and check if the sum equals num. So we test 28, which is a perfect number. So the output will be is 28 a perfect number. It's true. So here we're printing the first 5 powers of a number. So from 1 to 5 using method power, to calculate the powers and print them in a real double format. So we print power of 3. So the output will be 3 power of 1, 3 power of 2, plus 3 power of 5. And then it will show the answer itself. So next here we're calculating that salary after tax. So we compute the salary here. So in the main we calculate the salary for 30,000 base, 2,000 bonus, and 10% tax. So the net salary will be 29,200. So next here we're building a simple calculator using a switch statement. So it takes two numbers, which is A and B, and operator up. So we uses switch to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So division checks for 0 to avoid errors. So we test all four operations, which 10 and 5. So the output will be 10 plus 5 is equals to 15, 10 minus 5, 10 times 5, 10 divided by 5. So it shows also the answer itself. So next, in this Java example, we're counting down from a number. So we have here, we start down to 1, and it prints each number and times up. So we call the countdown of 5. So it prints 5, 2, 1, and then the message, which is the output will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the message, which is the times up. That's will be the output. And then next, this example, we're counting uppercase letter in a string. So through each character in the string, which is the hello Java word, which has 7 uppercase letters. So the uppercase letters will be 7. So next here, we're checking if a year is a leap year. So a year is a leap year if it's divisible by 4 and not by 100, or it's divided by 400. So we check 2024, which is a leap year. So is 2024 is a leap year? It's true. So next here, we're checking a guess against a secret number. So if the guess equals to secrets, it's print correct. If guess is greater, it prints too high, and otherwise it prints too low. So we're guessing 5 against secret 7, so it prints too low. So the output will be too low. So we have here, we're calculating cube of a number using its square. So square returns n. So square returns n squared, cube returns n times n squared is equals n cube. So in the main, cube 3 calculates 3 cube is equals to 27, because 3 times 3 times 3 is equals to 27. So the output will be cube of 3 is equals to 27. So next here, we're counting how many times a specific character appears in a string. So if it matches the character, it increments count. So it returns the total count. So we check here equal in a chase, which appears 3 times. So the frequency of equal is equals 3. So next, we're calculating the powers of number using math.power. So we take base and exponent and returns base exponent. So in the main, we calculate the 3 exponent to 4. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is equals to 81. So the output will be 3 exponent of 4 is equals to 81. So next here, we're counting spaces in a string. So if the character is a space, it increments count. So we returns the total spaces. So we have here the Java is really fun. So the spaces will be 3. So we're here counting digits in a string. Magkano sa tag-digit sa string. So we have here the main. My pin is 1, 2, 3, 4 as 5 digits. So the digits will be 5. So next here, we're removing vowels from a string. So convert it to lowercase to check against A, E, I, O, U. So it's not a vowels. So it's added the result. So in the main, beautiful word becomes beautiful word, because gikuha niya ang word sa I, E, I, O, U. So the output will be, after removing vowel, kay B, T, F, L, W, R, L, D. That's will be the output. So next, we're checking if an age is in the teenage range, which is the 13 to 19. So the method in teen returns true if age kay 13 and age is 19. So in the main, 15 is teen, true. So 25 is not, so it's false. So the output will be true and false. So next here, we're simulating a login system. So we check if user is admin and password is 1234. So in the main, we call login admin and 1234, string admin and string 1234. So if correct, it means successful. So if wrong, it's invalid or the credentials. If wrong, prints invalid credentials. So the output will be login successful. So we have here, we're checking if someone is eligible to vote. So it returns true if your age is 18. in the main we test age is 17, so false and 20 is true. So can vote false, can vote true, which is the kind of 17 vote is false. And so we have here removing the spaces again, which is our string is Java is fun to learn. So we have here 4 spaces, so we remove it and the output will be Java is fun to learn, but gasingkit sila. So next here, we're counting vowels in a string. So convert the string in lowercase to handle both cases. So argument counted the characters of the vowel which is the I, E, I, O, U. So in the main, we have string programming. So the string programming has 3 vowels. So the output will be vowels is 3. So here, we're converting a month number its name. So in method, we're using a switch statement. So the month name for numbers is 1 to 12. So it returns invalid month for other numbers. So in the main, get month 4, so returns April. January, February, March, April. So if magkwento another number with, for example, number 13, so invalid month, kaya wala may 13 sa month. So next here, we're checking if a password is strong. The check method is if strong length is 8 strong, which is the strong password, so else is weak password. So in the main, we string ABC 1 2 3 is weak and ABC 1 2 3 4 5 is strong. Kay mong weak ang ABC 1 2 3 kaya wala siya kabuto 8 na length. Kung naman siya 2 kung naman siya, well, the ABC 1 2 3 4 5 kay naabot na siya 8, so it's strong. So the output will be weak password